Hey, welcome to my YouTube channel. So, we move on to today's story. Once upon a time, in the busy streets of New York City, two souls unknowingly passed each other every day. Ethan, a quiet artist, spent most of his days in a little cafe, sketching his latest creations, observing the world through his eyes. Sarah, on the other hand, was a free-spirited photographer with a love for capturing the beauty of moments. She often wandered the city with her camera, hoping to freeze time, if only for a fleeting second. One rainy afternoon, the city seemed especially grey, and the streets were slick with the shimmer of the downpour. Ethan sat by the window, as he always did, coffee in hand and a sketch pad in front of him. The cafe was cozy, the hum of the espresso machine mixing with soft jazz music. Sarah had been running through the rain, her camera case held tightly under her arm, as she searched for inspiration for her next photo project. The rain had soaked her completely, and her usual smile had been replaced with a look of frustration. As Sarah passed by the cafe, the warmth inside caught her attention. She stepped inside, shaking off the rain, and was greeted by the aroma of freshly brewed coffee. She glanced around for a seat, and her eyes met Ethan's. He was sitting by the window, his eyes focused on the sketch pad in front of him, unaware of her gaze. But as if drawn by some invisible thread, their eyes locked. Sarah, a bit taken aback by the instant connection, hesitated before approaching him. "Is this seat taken?" she asked, her voice soft but confident. Ethan looked up, surprised, but then smiled warmly. "No, please sit. I was just lost in my thoughts." She took the seat across from him, setting her camera case down. "It's a crazy storm out there, isn't it?" she said, hoping to break the silence. "Yeah, the city's almost empty when it rains like this. People run from it, but I think it has its own beauty," Ethan said, glancing out the window at the raindrops streaking down the glass. "Exactly. It's the little moments that make you see the world differently," Sarah said, nodding as she opened her camera case. She pulled out her camera and began to fiddle with the settings. "I'm a photographer. I capture those little moments." Ethan's interest peaked. "A photographer? That's amazing. What kind of things do you like to shoot?" Sarah smiled, her eyes lighting up as she talked about her passion. "Everything, really. But mostly I love street photography. People, the city, the stories they tell without even knowing it." Ethan listened, fascinated by her words. He had always admired people who could capture life through a lens. "That's incredible. I'm an artist. I try to do the same, but with sketches. I guess we're kindred spirits in that way," he said, his eyes softening. For a while they sat there, talking about their crafts, Sarah describing the perfect moment she caught in a photograph, Ethan sharing the way a pencil captured the essence of a person. There was an undeniable connection between them, as if the universe had brought them together for this brief, perfect encounter. The rain continued to pour outside, but neither of them seemed to notice the time passing. Eventually, Sarah stood up, glancing at her camera. "I should probably get going. The city's still out there, waiting for me to capture it." Ethan stood too, reluctantly. "Yeah, I should get back to my sketches as well. But before you go," he paused, hesitating for just a second. "Do you think you could show me some of your work sometime? I'd love to see the world through your eyes." Sarah smiled, her heart fluttering at the simple request. "I'd like that." They exchanged phone numbers, and as Sarah stepped out into the rain again, she couldn't help but feel a sense of excitement. The storm that had seemed like an inconvenience just hours ago now felt like the backdrop to something beautiful. Over the next few weeks, they met often, sharing stories of their work, their dreams, and their lives. Ethan showed Sarah his sketches, capturing the same city she roamed with her camera. Sarah shared her photographs, showing Ethan the moments she had captured that would have otherwise gone unnoticed. They became each other's muse, each inspiring the other to see the world in new ways. One evening, After a particularly beautiful sunset, they sat together on a rooftop, watching the city lights twinkle below them. "I used to think love was something that happened all at once," Sarah said, her voice thoughtful. "But I think love is quieter. It's more like the moments that sneak up on you, like this one." Ethan nodded, his gaze fixed on her. "I think love is exactly like that. It's not loud. It's just there, waiting for the right moment." Sarah turned to him, her heart racing as she saw the sincerity in his eyes. "I think we found it," she whispered. And in that moment, surrounded by the city they both adored, Ethan leaned in and kissed her gently. The world seemed to pause, and for the first time, Sarah truly understood what it meant to capture the perfect moment. From that day forward, their love story unfolded, not in grand gestures, but in the quiet moments they shared. Sketches, photographs, laughter, and whispers. And they knew, as they walked through the city together, that they had found something real, something that felt like home.